Hey guys, just wanted to do an intro of the video I'm about to show. I'm setting the heat tape up for the rack that I built. Still waiting on the tubs to come in. They should have been here, well, they're going to be here today. So once they get here, I'll take them upstairs, get them into the rack. I got my Herbstat 6 hooked up to the rack. It's holding temp at about, I got it set at 91, so the lower shelves are sitting about 88, 89 degrees. So that's probably where I'm going to leave it at. The upper shelves are 90, 90 and a half to 91. But the upper shelves, they should have enough room to move around to get off the heat when they need to. So I'm going to let that go, and I'm going to put what I have up, and we'll do another video with the tubs in it. But I show putting the heat tape in and all that good stuff. So hope everybody's doing good. Talk to everybody soon. See you. Hey guys, Pete Large Caliber Constrictors. New little project today. I showed off the rack that I built for my FB20 tubs that I have, or that I have ordered anyway. So I had got that all set up, and I ordered some heat tape, which came in, which I've already cut into sections. These are just under 5 inches. This is the way I have it set up. It's like 4 and 9/16 ish, right in that area. It's right at the 30-second mark, but I'm just going by the rough tape measure marks. Each one is about the same. Each one's the same size. 8 of the black lines on the heat tape. So that gives me about 2 feet of extra heat tape in case I need to use any more. This is 12 inches wide, so that'll work good on the shelving. I have 6 pieces cut, and I've just got all the wires. I know it looks like a big mess, but these are all roughly the same length, within about an eighth of an inch or less. Just regular extension cord, that was bought. Just a couple dollars for each. So I'm taking the ends real quickly. These are the polarized extension cords, which means one plug side is bigger than the other, which means one side of your cord is going to have a line on it and one side's not. It doesn't really matter which side you put on your heat tape. It's not a big deal if whichever side you put it on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the line side on one side of the heat tape and the unlined side on the other side, so it's all the same all the way up. So now what I'm doing here is I'm matching the copper and the heat tape with how far I'm going to split my wires, because I'm going to daisy chain these together. And it doesn't have to be exact, just a rough guess on that. Hi Sky. And of course the puppies have to come help. Can't see Sky, she's off camera now. But I'm going to grab this side and do that. And then we're going to strip the wires. Don't do this at home, people. I've cut myself many times doing this with my pocket knife, but it works. Alright, we're going to set this up here. Alright, get it split as far as it'll go. I need it to go. Now, as you see, the two ends should roughly just match up with the copper. So when I daisy chain these together with the fittings, they should all work just fine, and I shouldn't have to split any more of the wire. So, and then we're going to take our wire strippers. We're going to strip the ends. I just guess at it about 1/4 of an inch to bare wire. If it's not exactly 1/4 inch, I'm not worried. It's not going to hurt it. It's all going to be covered in tape anyways. So what I did was I ordered 4 feet of 12-inch wide heat tape from Reptile Basics, and that just came in yesterday. The rack's been upstairs for about a week now, week today in fact. I ordered, the heat tape came in. I also got a 10-pack of the fittings in here. See them in there in the bag, which comes with the buttons which attach the which you have to use a crimper on, which I don't use, and I'll show you what I do later on when I'm ready for that. It also came with the electrical tape for the ends of the heat tape, so you're not going to get shocked. And they sent me a sticker. So, and I'll show you what I do when instead of using a crimper on this, I'll show you what I actually use on it. And the crimpers are like $60 on Reptile Basics website, and they're actually out of stock at the moment. So, and what I did with my other heat tape is what I'll show you later in this video. I'm actually downstairs stripping this. As you see, it's Tazzie's feed cage right here, which I need to clean it, which I'll do that later today. Got lots of projects going on. I'm still working. My wife is still working. So, because my wife is a postal carrier and I work at a hospital. So we still have our full-time jobs to go to every day. And Tuesdays are my day off. So, and I get every other weekend. So all of these are roughly, like I said, roughly the same length, within about an 1/8 inch or less on the lengthwise. You don't want them to be too over the top, different size-wise. And if they are, cause they're just a little off. No, not a big deal. The closer to the same length you can get them, the more evenly the current will go through the heat tape. So that way your bottom's not 60 degrees and your top's running 78, 80. So I try and run my heat tapes about 89 to 90 for a hot spot. So I'm going to stop this now, and I will start to daisy chain these together. I'm going to do a couple and then I'll show you what I'm actually doing. Alright, I'll be back in a minute. Okay guys, here's what I've done. I've taken all the other sections and put holes in them right here. Let's see if I can get that on camera. Make sure it's on. Alright, there's a hole here. All you need to use is a hole punch that you can pick up for a buck at the store. And what I'm doing is centering it as close as I can to the black strip across the top there on this, and give it a punch. If it's too far, if it's too close to one side or the other, it's not too much to worry about, but you want to try and keep it as centered as you can. That way you don't have to worry about it not working at all. I have never put one off the black tape or off the black strip, so I'm not sure if it'll still work or not, but I'm assuming it's not going to work very well. But I do have extras in case one of these does not work. I do have extra heat tape, so I can just cut another section and go for it and do what I'm doing here. So in the next step, I'll show you what I do as far as hooking up the buttons and the actual grommets to the heat tape. Okay, I'll be back shortly. Okay guys, I am back. I'm going to show you how I crimp this together. I've got the other 5 panels of the heat tape here already finished. They just knock over stuff. And I'll show you what I do with this stuff here. Let me get this crimped on here. My wire crimper. Just want to make sure it's nice and tight. There we are. And it's not going to pull out on you. Give it a little bit of tug. Take the other end. We're going to twist these together like so. Grab another grommet. Slide in the end. Now these are, the wire's been stripped pretty far. I probably could have gotten away with just half of what I stripped it at. So we're going to go ahead and crimp that together. Alright. Now that we have our grommets on, I'm going to grab my heat tape here, make sure this is halfway straight. There we go. I'll twist everything because it makes it a little bit easier. There we go. And now, if you've ever used heat tape before, you know that there's actually layers to the heat tape. So you want to take your grommet and patiently, sometimes it takes a minute, slip it in between the copper and the plastic. Like I said, sometimes it takes it a minute. There we go. Alright, I got it. Now you want to take your hole in your grommet and align it with the hole that you punched with your hole punch. And then you're going to take one of your, I call them little buttons, but you're going to take the long button, which is this one here. It's got the long on it. Slip it through the hole. Now, this is where they say you need the crimpers. After you put the short end, which would be this one here, which has the small side on it. See how it's not very tall on the top of this. Now I have a lot of leather coats and snaps, so because I ride, so I have a button repair kit, which consists of this round piece of almost like a bearing, but it's not. It's just a solid piece of steel. One side has a concave side, and one side has a little round piece in the middle there. And that's what you're going to use. I usually I have a piece of rock right here, one of our stepping stone rocks. I'm going to tilt the camera a bit. It's sitting right there on that. Right, like that. Alright, and the kit comes with this little piece of steel. Focus camera. There it is. It's just a piece of steel. One end's flat, and one end has a little cone shape on it. Almost like a bolt head. That's the side that you're going to use to pound in your grommet, or your button, to fasten your grommet to your heat tape. So you're going to take, let me tilt this down and get it in the camera here. Come on, camera, cooperate. Alright, there we are. You can see that okay, I think. So you're going to take it, set it on, take the bottom of the long piece, set it on that little round raised piece in the steel part. You're going to take your small, shorter grommet, or your button, and you are going to crimp that. And normally you would crimp it with the crimpers, but since I don't have any, this does work. You're going to take it and you're going to pound it. I say pound the crap out of it. You're going to give it some good hits. Try not to let it fall over or move on you. It's kind of hard to do sometimes. Alright, and then you're going to straighten this out a bit. Now what you're looking for is you don't want your connection to move. See how I'm giving it pressure and it's not moving at all inside the heat tape? And that'll give you a good enough connection to run your heat tape when you plug it into your thermostat. And then we're going to do the other side here real quick. So I get this to slide in easier this time. Probably not, because I'm trying to film the... There. Alright, you're going to take your steel piece, set it back up there, grab a long piece, connector, slip that through. I'm going to set it on the raised part of that little round steel. Grab the shorter one. Set that right in the middle. You're going to put that cone shape right in the open circle on your connectors. Get started. And check it. Make it pound that down a bit. Sometimes it goes at an angle and you get a little bit of a raised part. It's an easy fix. I probably overdo it with the hitting it down. I'd rather have it nice and tight and not move like that. Oh yeah, that's gonna work good. Okay, so there's that. Alright. And that's pretty much it on how to attach the heat tape to your grommet. I've got one more piece to do. I'm going to slip it on here, and then we'll daisy chain that together, and we'll go from there, okay? Stay tuned. I will be right back, and we'll be upstairs at that point putting the heat tape in the rack, alright? Till then, I'll be back shortly. Alright guys, we're up in the snake room right now. We are putting in the heat tape on the rack. Finish putting this one through. This one, you're actually the level above that on the camera there. Okay, we're gonna, here we are, slip the heat tape in here, put it underneath my 1/8 inch slats that the tubs are going to sit on, so the tubs are not sitting directly onto the heat tape. Instead of recessing the shelf, I decided to put it on some strips of, these are 1/8 inch slats of wood. Adjust the camera. Here's the tub. I have to slide out here. Alright. Slip this in the back. Sliding it underneath that butter slat. I've already taped the ends of the heat tape with electrical tape. There's no exposed copper or anything on there. There we go. Okay. Alright, I'm going to bring this back here. Sorry about my camera work. Alright, there's all the heat tape in the slats. I have the plug in here. Here's the plug in. It's going to go into the thermostat, which I'm just going to hook this one up to my thermostat 6 that I have. And I'm going to end up moving my males over here after they get fed today. So, slide over here. I'm going to shorten up my tripod, so bear with me. It's really shaky. I apologize. So here's the tub. These are the Freedom Breeder FB20s. We got the cup holder. You can see they slide in pretty well. They've got a nice gap at the top. I don't know if you can see that too well. I can't get it to focus on that. So, yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and hook that all up. Get the thermostat put in place. I'm actually going to run the thermostat probe. The probe's going to be on this shelf here. I've got a groove hollowed out or sanded out in here, so it'll be recessed slightly, so the tub's not going to be riding over the top of it all the time. But yeah, I think that's going to work great. So yeah, the tubs are coming in soon. See, yeah, there's about 1/8 of an inch gap on the top of that tub there. You can't really see it too well. But, I mean, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it's functional. That's all I care about. I want it to work. So, we'll do a feed video here later. And until then, there's Tazzy chilling in his cage. Focus, camera. There you go. He's doing good. And, we'll be back later on today with a feed video for you guys. Pull that back some more. There we go. So yeah, that's the rack. Yeah, I know that's overkill for this rack at the moment. I only have this rack right now. I've got others I need to order right now. So until then, I'm going to hook it up, get it running, let the heat tape heat up, make sure all the connections are good on it and they were working before I do anything else with it. All right. See you soon.